Y'all
thrown in
boys.
Florida State
Today,
Prison's electric chair
we
on
got how
June
every serial
24,
killer died.
1989. Ted Bundy.
Bro, I was banned for a week. They banned me for a week. My World Star series was doing numbers, bro. I had to delete half my vids, bro. That was my that's my main series. So it could have been a blessing, bro. Who knows? It's probably a blessing. We gotta find a new category, bro.
He finally faced what no
So shout out
courtroom
my nigga, Punchy History. You gonna replace World Star.
escape could delay the end of his control and life. In the days before his execution, Bundy was calm and cooperative. He spent hours with investigators, confessing to more than 30 murders committed between 1974 and 1978. Though most
Bro, that just lets you know like how much cameras saved everything, bro. Like these ring cameras like the FBI, like how does he get away with 30 murders? And then you think, oh, it's no cameras, nigga. Just do it, nigga. Just drive off. You're good. That's it. Literally. Like, as long as they don't see you doing it, or like somebody just could witness, like, if it's just you and the nigga, middle of the road, you shoot him, drive off, bro, you getting off.
believed
That
the
shit
real
crazy.
number was even higher. He offered excruciating detail, but not remorse, saving what he knew as bargaining
I mean,
chips
yeah, if I knew
he'd
I was
never
died,
get to spend.
it's no point
At
of no remorse.
7:06 a.m., Bundy was escorted into the execution chamber. Witnesses included officers, journalists, and relatives of victims. After he was strapped into the wooden chair, electrodes
Relatives of victims. Why don't they do shit like this no more? You just get to pull up and watch your loved ones kill or die.
were
Like,
fixed to his leg and scalp. His final words were simple: "Give my love to my family and friends." When the current hit, 2,000 volts surged through his body for nearly a minute. The smell of burning material filled the room. At 7:16 a.m., a prison physician pronounced him dead. He was 42 years old. Outside, a crowd of 2,000 people celebrated, waving signs, lighting fireworks, and chanting, "Burn, Bundy, burn."
that boy Bundy was fucking them boys up, nigga. 2,000 people. I know at least half of them is family and friends. The people he slain. Damn.
The man who once manipulated judges, juries, and victims was finally gone. Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't executed by the state, but his death did come from inside the prison walls. By 1994,
I didn't even know
Dahmer
he
was
was
serving a
dead.
16-life sentence at Columbia Correctional Institution in Wisconsin for taking the lives of 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991. In prison,
And bro, he was so crazy because he was gay with this shit. Like, a gay, aggressive killer. He's probably like on the Mount Rushmore of like the LGBT community. You feel me? Like, the real shit though. You got to think about it. This man was he was a troop. He was a soldier. I mean, let's call it let's call it spade a spade, bro.
he kept a low profile, but occasionally made dark jokes about his crimes, angering other inmates. 94. Dahmer was assigned to clean a prison gym bathroom with two other inmates.
Bro, if you in jail, my nigga, and you got life sentences, why are you cooperating or anything? Like, it's nothing you can do. There is no good time for you, bro. You got killed. Like, bro,
Christopher
I'm
Scarver
not
and
cleaning no
Jesse
bathroom.
Anderson. The men were left unsupervised for about 10 minutes. When guards returned, Dahmer was found on the floor with severe head wounds. Anderson was also critically injured. Scarver later told officers he'd used a metal bar from exercise equipment to commit the act and claimed he was acting under divine orders. Dahmer was taken to a nearby hospital, but was gone an hour later. The official cause was clearly blunt force trauma. He was 34 years old. His body was cremated per his request. His brain initially preserved for study, but later destroyed after his parents disagreed about its fate.
Studied?
John Wayne Gacy's execution
Bro, he was
didn't go as
34.
planned, and when there was a problem with the IV, his end lasted much longer than intended. He spent the day in prayer with a Catholic priest, and for his last meal had a bucket of KFC chicken, French fries, fried shrimp, strawberries, and a Diet Coke. Not a Coke, a Diet Coke.
Bro, it's your last fucking meal. Why are you eating strawberries and Diet Coke? Nobody likes them shits. I mean, I like they strawberries. I'm not eating that shit for my last meal, gang. I'm not even gonna say what my last meal because I'm never gonna be in this
Even as they prepare
predicament,
for
bro. But
execution,
these niggas is so
Winnie Brennan
stupid. Like, you
celebrated
see how they
Easter.
landed in jail?
Outside the prison, crowds
Diet
gathered to
Coke.
celebrate
Fucking
the end
retard.
of a man who
No.
had taken the lives of
Oh,
33 young men
I
and
just got
boys.
banned, bro. Chill,
Shortly
gang.
after
Please,
midnight,
2K.
Gacy was
No, I mean,
strapped to
bro,
a
YouTube.
gurney
Please
in the
don't ban me,
execution
gang.
chamber. He appeared calm and
Please
even
don't ban me.
joked with guards. His last reported words were, "Kiss my ass." Two IV lines were inserted to deliver a
Hold on,
woman's
wait.
word. He appeared calm and even joked with guards. His last reported words were, "Kiss my ass." Two IV
This
lines
nigga a
were
fucking
inserted to
menace,
deliver
bro.
a three-chemical sequence meant to end his life within minutes. But before the injection began, something went wrong. One of the tubes clogged, forcing a delay of about 10 to 18
Bro,
minutes
imagine
as
niggas say, yeah, hold on,
Gacy
I'm about to kill
scrambled
you in
to
10 to
fix the
18 minutes.
line and find a new vein. Gacy remained awake, restrained on the table. Witnesses described the scene as tense and awkward, with reporters later saying it was a botched performance, comparing it to an amateur surgical procedure. When the flow resumed, he closed his eyes and went quiet. At 12:58 a.m., a prison official pronounced him dead. He was 52 years old. His brain was later removed for study.
What do
Nothing
they mean
special was
study?
found.
Like, y'all really
Eileen
think serial
Wuornos
killers are
begged
some
the court
aliens,
to
gang?
execute her. She meant it too, and they accommodated. By her final day, she had spent more than a decade on death row for taking the lives of 7 men in 1989 and 1990. Her final years
Everybody
were
don't need no
filled with
gun, bro.
erratic behavior and conspiracy claims. In a letter to the court, she wrote, "I'm competent. Let me have my execution." She fired her attorneys, accused prison staff of treating her improperly, and told reporters she believed the government wanted her dead. In her last days, she declined a final meal and instead requested a simple cup of coffee. On the morning of October 9th,
I
2003, she
guess.
walked calmly into the execution chamber. Witnesses say she appeared emotionless as she was strapped to the gurney. When asked if she had any final words, she said, "I'll be back, like Independence Day, with Jesus, June 6th, like the movie. Big mothership and all. I'll be back." Whatever the heck that means. At 9:47
Why do they
a.m.,
ask
the
for
lethal
final words? Like,
injection
this shit
began.
is not a
In 10
game.
minutes, her breathing slowed. Her
I know they kill people, bro, but death ain't no, like, it's not entertainment. Like, what the fuck? Or gossip. It's my last
eyes
words and last
closed and
meal and all this
confirmed
jester
she'd
shit.
passed at 9:53 a.m. She was 46 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Richard Ramirez, known as the
This
Night
nigga look
Stalker,
young as
never
hell.
made it to the gas chamber. Something else got to him first. He received a capital sentence in 1989 for 13 fatal attacks across California in the mid 1980s, but the appeals process dragged on for years. During that time, life for Richard Ramirez could have been worse. He got married to a journalist who had written to him in prison and continued to receive letter after letter from
Gang. Like, what? Looks just get you everywhere, bro. Cause if what the fuck? How are you getting married
who
by,
had
like,
written to him in prison and continued
is
to
that not
receive
sick?
letter after letter from fawning admirers. Then, in 2013, Ramirez's health sharply declined. He had been diagnosed with B-cell lymphoma, a form of cancer. The disease spread quickly to his liver and lymph nodes, causing liver failure and secondary infections. He also suffered from chronic hepatitis C and other complications from decades of his illicit substance abuse. He was transferred to a hospital facility within the prison system, where his condition worsened
Bro,
still.
what's up with
He
this
developed
animation?
bed sores, chronic fatigue, and severe jaundice. Those who saw him near the end said he looked decades older than his age, with a waxy complexion, thinning hair, and a hollow face. At 9:10 a.m. on June 7th, 2013, Richard Ramirez passed away from liver
Why you
failure
think this shit
secondary
funny?
to lymphoma. He was 53 years old.
What's up
No
with these
family
graphics, bro?
exhumed his body. Compared to his larger-than-life fame and legacy, Charles Manson's passing was pretty
Bro, look at his
uneventful.
eyes, man. You could just feel the souls he's
Larger-than-life fame
like. These niggas are
and
crazy.
legacy. Charles Manson's passing was pretty uneventful. By then, he had spent nearly 50 years in prison, serving multiple life sentences for orchestrating the 1969 Tate LaBianca incident. He was one of the oldest inmates in the California prison system. In early 2017, Manson's health began to decline. He was hospitalized several times for intestinal bleeding and other complications. Doctors determined that he had advanced colon cancer and failing organs, but he was too weak for surgery. In his final days, he was moved under guard from Corcoran State Prison to a hospital ward, where he remained conscious but frail. Staff described him as quiet and largely unresponsive. There were no official last words. At 8:13 p.m. on November
Like, bro,
19th,
this ain't no
2015,
sport.
Charles Manson had passed away from cardiac arrest, with respiratory failure and metastatic cancer listed as contributing causes. He was 83 years old. His body was later cremated after several people fought over his remains, including his grandson and another man who claimed to be his son.
Who
After
would
4
want to
years
claim
of
to be
terror
his?
and 2 years of trial, Andrei Chikatilo's passing lasted less than a second. This Russian madman had been convicted of 52 fatal attacks committed between 1978 and 1990. In court, he often ranted, laughed, and even exposed himself to the jury. But once he was found guilty and sentenced, he quieted down and kept it in his pants. He spent his final months in
Bro, how could you even do this
even
shit?
exposed himself to the jury. But once he was found guilty and laughed in 1978 and
That's like
1990. In court,
52
he
murders in
often
12 years.
ranted, laughed, and even exposed himself to the jury.
Like,
But once he was
what?
found guilty and sentenced, he
How is this
quieted
legal?
down and kept it in his pants. He spent his final months in solitary confinement at Novichirkov prison, calmed and detached,
Bro, I'm
rarely
sorry. If I get life in jail, nigga, bro, give me that noose. I'm out of there. Like 50 years is crazy, gang.
speaking to prison guards. On the morning of February 14th,
I'm
1994,
out.
he was taken from his cell without warning, likely not knowing that this day would be his last. Russian officials at the time gave no advance notice of the execution date, and after his appeals were exhausted, he was led to a small soundproof room and ordered to kneel. A barrel was placed to the back of
What
his
the
head
fuck?
and
What type of jail is
bang!
this?
No more Andrei Chikatilo. He was 57 years old. There were no witnesses, other than the officials there and, of course, the man that did the deed. Chikatilo's body was buried in an unmarked grave, its location withheld by the state, so no one really knows where he is. Albert
Nigga in the
Fish had been
ocean.
convicted of taking the life of a 10-year-old girl he lured from her home, a crime that exposed a lifetime of other horrific behavior. Fish claimed his acts were commanded by God and told psychiatrists he expected execution to
This
bring him.
nigga think he Tony Soprano or some shit. Like, just whacking little girls and going to
By
talk to your
God
therapist,
and told
bro.
psychiatrists he expected execution to bring him salvation. The state would accommodate with the execution. The salvation was out of their hands. In his last evening on Earth, at Sing Sing Prison in Ossining, New York on January 16, 1936, he appeared calm as guards led him to the electric chair. Witnesses noted that he even helped the executioner fasten his own straps and showed no fear. When asked for final words, he reportedly said, "I don't even know why I'm here," though the reason was pretty clear to everyone there. At 11:06 p.m., the first current was applied. The voltage surged in multiple cycles, each lasting about 30 to 60 seconds, and was repeated. He was no longer living 3 minutes later. The execution reportedly required 2 jolts to complete, though officials never confirmed whether that was due to technical issues or his body's reaction. The
Bro, that don't
doctor who
matter.
examined him afterwards described his passing as instantaneous, though some witnesses believed it took longer than usual. His body was buried in Potter's Field on Hart Island, New York, as it was unclaimed. When the noose was hung around H. Holmes' neck and the trap door opened beneath him, the crowd thought it was over. It wasn't. Holmes had spent years deceiving and defrauding anyone who crossed his path, In Chicago during the 1890s, he built a 3-story maze of rooms and hidden chambers, later called the Murder Castle, where several people who entered were never seen
Like
again.
this that
He was
before
finally
camera
caught
shit.
for taking the life of a business associate during an insurance scam. On the morning of his execution, he had eaten eggs and dry toast and thanked the guards for their courtesy. When asked for final words, he calmly denied any wrongdoing, claiming responsibility for only 2
Did he use the same face scan from Albert Fish? I just got confused, bro. What is you doing?
accidental mishaps. No one believed him. On May 7th, 1896, at Moyamensing Prison in Philadelphia, a noose was tied around his neck and the trap door fell. But it failed.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. The Noose is top three worst execution. I'd rather just get. I ain't even gonna, you feel me? But like maybe like just drinking poison. Like, bro, anything but a noose. I ain't gonna lie. Give me the shock. Give me the electric chair over the noose, bro. I'm gonna get claustrophobic. Bro, drowning is still the
Tore
worst.
his neck cleanly, and
This
he
is top
slowly
three.
lost his breath. Witnesses said he didn't flinch or struggle, just hung motionless as if waiting for something. He hanged there for nearly 20 minutes before doctors finally confirmed there was no longer a pulse. What came next, Holmes had planned for. He requested that his body be buried 10 feet underground in a coffin encased in cement to prevent anyone from digging him up. The prison, for some reason, granted the request,
Yeah, like
sealing
what?
him beneath layers of concrete. When his grave was exhumed more than a century later for DNA testing, his mustache was still intact.
What the fuck?
Harold Shipman was a respected
Shit
family
just be
doctor in
fake.
England for decades, known for his calm manner and spotless record. By the time he was caught in 1998, investigators believed that he had taken the lives of more than 200 of his patients,
Get the
making him
fuck
one of
out
the
of here,
most
bro.
prolific life takers in modern history. He had used his medical position to administer lethal doses of painkillers, often signing the death certificates himself. He was convicted in 2000 for taking the lives of 15 people and sentenced
Yeah,
to life
200. Like, get
imprisonment
the
with
fuck out of here.
no possibility of release at
What was
Wakefield
his
Prison.
motive, though? He's
On the
just doing
morning
this
of
shit just to
January
do it.
13th, 2004, guards found him hanging in his cell. He had torn a bed sheet into strips and tied it to the bars of his window. He
That's what
was
I'm doing.
57 years old. Shipman left no note. Prison staff later said he had shown no signs of distress or mental illness. Some
It's
speculated that
just
behind
logic.
his past.
Look, he probably the smartest one out of all of them, bro. It's just logic. What am I doing 100 years in jail for, bro? I'm just gonna.
To spare his wife the loss of his pension, which might have been revoked had he lived beyond his 60th birthday. When guards finally checked Elizabeth Bathory's cell on August 21st,
Get the
1614,
bro. Anything before the 1800s is folk tale campfire stories, bro. Everything y'all about to hear right here is finna be some mythological bullshit.
he was lying on the floor, cold and still. After 4 years of isolation, even her jailers weren't sure when she'd stopped breathing. Known in legend as the Blood Countess, Bathory was accused of committing terrible acts on scores of young girls at her castle in Hungary between 1590 and 1610. The true number of victims remains
Nobody's
uncertain.
ever heard of this.
Official records mention around 80, but later accounts claim it to be into the hundreds. In 1610, King Matthias II ordered her arrest. Unlike her accomplices who were executed, Bathory was never tried. Instead, she was imprisoned for life inside Catchtis Castle, bricked into a small set of rooms where food was passed through an opening. Over the years, her health deteriorated. She reportedly expressed discontent with her confinement, likely worsened by cold, isolation, and lack of light. Poor girl. By 1614, she could no longer stand. One morning, she told a guard she felt unwell. By the next day, she was gone. She was 54 years old. Her body was buried in the castle grounds before being quietly moved to a family crypt, possibly to avoid vandalism. The woman, once accused of bathing in blood, died in total darkness, alone behind a
That's not
wall.
ironic at all.
Ed
Bro, I
Gein
don't see the
started
correlation.
taking the lives of two women and exhuming corpses from local graveyards, but was
What?
never executed. You see, he had been declared legally insane and was committed to the Central State Hospital for the Criminally Insane in Waupun, Wisconsin, later transferred to the Mendota.
Bro, this why the like the US be getting looked at like some softies, my nigga. Bro, he's digging up corpse and killing little girls. And all y'all do is pass an insane test. And we're like, at what point do we say death sentence? In any other country, they're killing this man. You trying to rehabilitate him, bro? Like, that's why bro, I be feeling like the judges and the people who made like they've never been on the victim side of this shit. Like, damn, that's my uncle, that's my mom, that's my like. How you think they feel seeing he's trying to get rehabilitated? Shit, crazy.
Mental Health Institute. In
Kill him.
July 1984, Gein was admitted to St. Mary's Hospital after suffering respiratory problems and weight loss. Doctors diagnosed lung cancer that had spread throughout his body. His condition worsened quickly. For several weeks, he was kept under observation, often sedated and drifting in and out of awareness. Nurses describe him as polite but mostly silent, occasionally whispering short answers when spoken to. He died there on July 26, 1984, at age 77, from respiratory failure secondary to cancer. Ed Gein went into the ground the normal way for once. He was buried in Plainfield Cemetery beside his mother. His grave marker was later stolen and vandalized repeatedly before being permanently removed.
Yeah.
So, which of
As
these do you think
always,
stood
make
out
sure y'all
more?
like, comment, subscribe. More content on the way.